So we just finished watching Daredevil Born Again, season 2. I believe this was episode 4. And Gloves Off was the title of the episode. And I mean, it started off with a bang and it ended with a bang. Grr. Um, yeah. I mean, Vanessa, she's cooked. Like, if she lives through this, which I doubt it, she's cooked. But I mean, hey, for her being the martyr in this entire thing, that doesn't bode well for Fisk and any of his plans, of course. The governor, right, was already like, look, I like Fisk and you together to keep this under wraps, but with no Vanessa, it's not looking good.
But it's like that for a lot of his connections too,
Yeah,
because as we saw in last season, and as I had to explain to you what happened in Echo and Hawkeye, Fisk was gone for
that's right.
like a
Yeah.
while. Fisk was gone for a while, and Vanessa, that's part of the contention in their relationship, that he was gone and that she had to pick up the pieces and do the damn thing. Like she
Mm-hmm.
became the kingpin of New York for a while without him,
Yes.
and she got a lot of the connections, and it's because of who she was. She was an upstanding citizen before getting married to him, like a rich individual, already had those prior connections that he never had. So now it's not only the governor, it's all their friends whose pockets they were lining or who's lining their pockets and watching their back. So
Yeah.
a lot of a lot of things are going to take a little stumbly stumble now that if she's in fact dead.
Yes. So I mentioned at the beginning of the recording that there was things I was spoiled on. So of the things that I was spoiled on was one, um, the what was it? Hold on, let me go back. It was this scene here, um, with so it was the glass shard. So
Mhm.
like I knew the glass shard hit Vanessa's head, and that's the one where I was just like, all right, gotta click off from that. Now the whole fact of her like just dying like that, like obviously I could make an inference that she was gonna like if the glass shard is in her head, I could make the inference that she was gonna die. That was like the first thing I saw. Apparently the other thing wasn't a spoiler. I guess it was just something that was put together. But it was with pretty much Bullseye and Daredevil. I did a quick check to see if anybody else, obviously, the whole thing with the Watcher. But yeah, other people. It looks like other people have also stated that the Watcher, like that appearance as well. But some people are like they don't know if it's intentional. But some people are just like, if this is how the Watcher. Let me see. If this is how the Watcher was going to appear in live action, is this like the first time, right? Or it might be one of the first times.
The
Um,
watcher that they have for What If that they started using in other spaces, I
mhm.
don't believe. No, did we see the
For
Watcher in a live action in the things that we've watched? I don't know. You'd have to look it up. I feel like we have, but you
let me see.
know, considering that they really are trying to tie in this multiverse in this way, um, it is
Has the
quite a
Watcher been in
coincidence.
MCU? Let's see. Guardians of the Galaxy, Volume 2. The Watchers first appeared in the MCU during a post-credit scene where Stanley's character reports to them, confirming a fan theory that Lee's cameo were as an informant to the
That's right. I
race.
remember that. Yep, I remember that. Yeah, I
Yep.
remember that after credit scene. Yep.
Yep. Other than
Yeah.
that, it's been all animated, right? Because I haven't seen What If, but is What If animated for the most part?
Yeah, What If is animated and he's a semi main character of What If, and
Okay.
then in X-Men 97,
Yep. I Am
that whole.
Groot, X-Men 97, Your Neighbor Friendly Hood Spider-Man.
Yep,
Uh,
I
uh,
remember that.
I didn't see Eyes of Wakanda or Marvel Zombies, but apparently they make a cameo in that. So yeah, it's been so the first live action was Guardians of the Galaxy. So it's been nearly 10 years if this one is going to officially count as well. Um yeah,
I hope it
that's
does. I hope it does because then that starts really. It's just one of those things that is a nice thread for all the mishmash, goobly garbity garbage that the MCU is.
yeah,
And it's just a nice comic book reference to bring in into this aspect of the live action stuff.
yeah,
And if it's not like, and the fact that it's not like full Watcher up in the cosmos, that it looks like it's just him there, like it comic book wise, and knowing what the Watcher does,
yeah,
this
here we go.
this
Yeah.
moment does very much seem like a moment that cannot be changed,
Hmm.
especially going forward with how just Fisk is being portrayed in the boxing ring
Yeah.
and what this means for his temperament. We're about to see a fist let loose, and it's about to really shake up New York. He's already on edge with everything else, and everyone's um, poking and prodding him. And this will be the straw that breaks the camel's back.
Hmm. Yeah. Um this moment was layered with so much craziness, and just of course the implications of Vanessa like actually dying would change the entire course of Daredevil, especially with a season 3 already in production. Not sure how many more episodes we have, maybe like 4 more if it's what, like, because I mean they usually do like 8 or something like that. um Let me see, Daredevil Born Again season 2, how many episodes do we got, plus the special that's happening? So yeah, 8 episodes, and then what you call it? Then the special that's happening for
The
the
spotlight
Punisher.
on Punisher.
Yeah. So yeah, with 4 more episodes, I mean, there's a lot more. And for Vanessa to bite the bullet in this episode, I mean, yeah, that's yeah. Right. I mean, all right. So even reading this, a shard of the ornament hits Vanessa's head, causing her to bleed and collapse. So no confirmed death yet, right? But if she did bite the bullet, man, oh man, is that going to change a lot of things? Now, go with these two here, are Deputy Mayor and BB. Now, he was looking at her a little bit too hard, but all right, granted, it was an awkward situation. Like he came up, like dude came up, was like, "Hey man, yo, you BB for the BB report, right? You know, can I just snag a pic real quick?" And I looked like he saw, like I don't know, but it looked like he was like saw him slip the thing into her pocket. But afterwards, it's like her digging her own pocket and him just looking at
I
her
mean,
too.
the simple
Yeah,
fact that she doesn't quite know how to play along with these situations, like
yeah,
she's a bit obvious. And I think that's a little like, she's still young, so I guess she doesn't have like the investigative journalist whereabout and
yeah,
like having agent experience on how to play these kinds of handoffs off. She's very awkward.
yeah,
Instead of just going, "Yeah, no problem, thank you. Yeah, yeah, no worries, no worries. Have a good night." And then just like chuckling at him. They're just staring at each other. If that was me and then she's just staring at me, I'd be like, I'd
yeah,
be suspicious. So he already knows that she's doing the Kingpin report.
yeah,
So any interactions that happen just out of nowhere, I'm sure he's gonna look at with more scrutiny, especially
yeah.
with Buck now on his case, right?
Buck
And
clapping,
and
Christy,
yeah,
yeah,
so it is very and as we know with him, he's a lot smarter than people give him credit for, or at least, streetwise smart, right?
yeah,
He's a New Yorker. He's a New York guy. So, people underestimate him, and I think that she does that a little bit with him. I think
mm-hmm.
she sees him as like,
Dimwit,
which is
pretty
weird.
much.
Yeah, like a bit of a dimwit. Like you don't know what you're getting yourself into, and it's like, girl, you all know what you're getting yourself into, and if he's warning you, that means he knows a lot more than he's letting on.
Yeah,
So there's a lot of like, I too would just like raise an eyebrow at her, and then, you know, play it off as like, huh,
Yeah.
I didn't know I was on a date with a celebrity, like try to be cute about it. So, it depends on what happens in the next episode. I think he knows, I think, or he suspects something just happened in that little interaction there.
Yeah.
If he doesn't, then then that's just one of those, beats that shows do to make us be suspicious of a interaction when there's nothing really to worry about at the end of the day. Would I like it more if he figured it out? Yes, honestly, because I think
Yeah.
she needs a bit more. I think they both need a bit more pressure on themselves and figuring this stuff out. If you're both on the opposite sides of the fence, trying to do whatever the fuck, you guys need
Hmm.
to get better at this job.
Yeah. Like,
You
are
both need to
they
get better at this job.
are they dating? Are they not dating? Like they can't even
Well,
come to terms
I,
on that too. The way
Well,
that yeah.
that's a very bad girl thing, something I'm,
Yeah.
very used to. I think she's trying to be like, she wants to stay friends with him, obviously. So
Hmm.
there's two folds to that, right? I'm your friend. One fold is I'm also getting information out of you. It's not that hard to get what I need. And two, I want to pull you out of this. I think there's a way to get you out of this. I don't want to completely give up hope on you just yet, right?
Yeah.
With him, it's like now he knows that she's getting the leaks from somewhere, right? From him, he knows, but like is doing all these other videos, all this other aside from the propaganda that they're doing, right? He's not that stupid, but he does have a crush on her, right? She's
Yeah.
that thing for some male characters, for some men, that she's the good in the world that I can do, and with this kind of woman, we can do a lot of good in the city. We can do a lot of good together. Oh, and then I'm sure he's also romanticizing Vanessa and Fitz's relationship. Like,
Hmm.
that's what I want. A smart woman who I find really attractive, who's still hanging around me and giving me a chance. And she's just like, bro, we're kind of just friends. And he's like,
So we really like even his jokes. He
yeah,
was like, "Yeah, we're gonna be first, front row and full of sweat by the end of this night." And then he was like, "You know
yeah.
what? That sounded better in my head."
It very much gives a guy who can't just be friends. And it's there it's a very guy thing to do, but also I think it's playing a part in the fact that he romanticized Fisk and Vanessa's relationship and seeing how strong it is and how,
Hmm.
tight they are, and him just wanting to be the heir apparent, right? To be up in the ranks and to have someone as smart, as intelligent as BB on his arm, a girl that he already finds attractive and sees an in because we're friends. And also now maybe seeing in with her because I know you're stealing from me, right? I know you're stealing from me and I'm keeping you safe. So what do we got here? So there's a lot of dynamic shifting happening between these two. That's I think a lot of people need to keep their eyes on, but also it is very like you guys need to up your game on whatever the fuck y'all are doing.
Yeah,
Like
because
both of you need to, but I guess that comes with time and experience and and I think it's like with this girl who's White Tiger, it's like you guys are so gung ho and ready
definitely,
for this
yeah,
life, right? You guys are so like not ready, but like willing to step in the shit to do what you think you need to do,
yeah,
and none of you are actually ready for what's to come.
not at
And I
all.
mean, but it's understanding too that that's life. Not every adult, and like even as adults, we're not ready for every situation. We just have experience and time to temper how we react in these situations and how we handle these situations.
Yeah,
These are a bunch of teenagers and 20 somethings who are just like trying to find their way in all this mess, and it's very possible it's all gonna bite all of them in the ass.
yeah. At the end of it, because oh man, I mean, it's already biting. Well, everything that's going on is already biting Matt in the ass, as you can see. So imagine these people. Well, if they live to tell the tale, that's another thing.
Yeah.
Because between Angela, her dealings, BB Daniel, like their dealings was going on.
Oh, I
Fist,
see Angela
fist.
making it 100% out of
Out of
the
all of this,
season.
yeah.
Yeah. Because,
Him,
like I said,
him.
you
I
need to
don't
set
think
up
so.
a young team of heroes. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think it might come down to two of them. Now, with this thing that just happened with Vanessa,
yeah,
it is very kill a woman to progress a man's story. Um, because it is like Vanessa had a like I said, had a lot of dealings behind the scenes, is the mastermind in her own right. And it is, well, I'm warning you, and it's like, well, we need Fist to fucking lose it. So what's gonna make Fist lose it? Kill his wife. So I'm not a big fan of that. So if they kill BB, it is gonna be very much like repetitive.
Hmm.
Unless they both go out in a flame of glory or some
And I,
bullshit,
I think
right?
they'll kill Daniel more so to progress BB.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, not that I
Yeah.
don't want him to die. I want him to be confronted with his part in all this, but
Hmm.
like there is a tragedy getting set up here with both of them in some way, with
Yeah.
all the machinations and all the stuff that everyone is doing. But yeah, killing Vanessa. Very. I know that that's been Bullseye's goal for the
Yeah.
last season. Let's say
She had 5 seasons worth plus of danger
right.
coming to her.
I mean, I don't Vanessa doesn't come until season 3 of Daredevil
Tech,
Netflix?
technically, right? Like, because I mean, she's been around, but like she was more prominent. Well, obviously, the most prominent roles for her last season.
Right.
Right? Yeah. Like, in
Yeah,
how
and
much
then
she was involved.
she just makes little appearances here and there. I think she makes a little appearance in Hawkeye and not in Echo. But yeah, I think so. Let's say this is a 2-season character if we count the third
Yeah.
season of how many seasons did Daredevil get? I don't remember. 4
Daredevil got
seasons?
three
3
seasons
seasons?
so far. This is season 5.
Okay, so yeah, I think Vanessa appears prominently in season 3 of Netflix Daredevil. I haven't seen The Punisher, but I don't think Punisher has anything to do with
No,
Kingpin
no,
and them.
no.
So, and then she comes in again last season, and all the stuff that she's been doing has been off camera, so to speak. Well, actually, technically off
Hmm.
camera, and yeah, now this. So, whereas like Vanessa's a bad guy. Vanessa's a bad guy, right?
Yeah.
I think all bad guys deserve their comeuppance, right? Um, but I have to scrutinize and I do have to side eye that this woman who's wheeling and dealing and is just as powerful as her husband is the one to bite the bullet because we know it's gonna make him crack when he's already got so much pressure on him, right? So it does feel very fridging of Vanessa, though it's also like she's a bad guy and shit happens. So
Mhm.
yeah, just something I'm really working through in my head. I think it would've, if she's not dead. I mean, if she is dead. If she's not
Hmm.
dead and they figure something out, but even to put her in a vegetative state, it's gonna be weird. I also know since now we are tying it to the overall MCU of it all, there are life-saving things out there in the world. They're all aware of multiverses, so maybe they'll pull something, maybe the Daredevil team and Disney will pull something out of their ass like here she's alive, right? She's alive, but not the same.
Yeah. I think
I mean, if
she's gonna
Scarlet Witch
live.
can make children out of feelings and magic,
Yeah,
you know
like
what I
some
mean?
next level shit. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think she'll
Um.
live. But be sidelined for the next episode until season 3, because Fisk being unhinged without having Vanessa as his little canary, in a way, like is going to set up him to make a lot of mistakes.
Mhm.
Because he no longer has that, person by his side that makes him whole. Despite
Mhm.
their marital issues, this also pushes Heather, who we did not see at all in this episode,
Mhm.
to be even more of a counselor. I can see that happening more now. Like he's gonna seek more counseling because it's gonna be, who am I without the woman that's been beside me my entire life? Well, now
Well,
in
yeah,
this,
for the last
yeah,
couple of years, and I
last couple of
think
years, yeah,
Heather's gonna feel it too because she's looked at Vanessa as a mentor,
yeah.
and Vanessa was definitely pushing her in a lot of directions to open up, so to speak, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is
This
only
could
further
push
going
her
to
towards
push her
Muse.
mental state, yep, towards the edge. So it's so fascinating to see a character like Vanessa, who simply by knowing what's gone on in the MCU at this point,
Yeah.
to be like she's been the backbone for a lot of things. that have led up to this point, right?
Yeah.
If if it wasn't for Vanessa, Kingpin wouldn't have a leg to stand on to become mayor.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for her air of elegance, the connections that they made, and her speaking with the governor is a good example of that, right? I think with also how she treats Buck, how Buck reveres her, and how Vanessa idolizes her. I'm sorry, Heather idolizes her. She's really is a pillar on in she's yeah, the pillar and the foundation of what Fisk is building or what Fisk has built to this point.
Yeah.
You don't like I said, we discussed you haven't watched Echo, but yeah, he got fucked up and then wasn't hiding for a long time, and the show opens last season with Vanessa going, "I had to clean up a mess. You weren't here.
Right.
I had to keep everything afloat." So yeah, so now it is very. If she is dead, it's going to be very telling how it all falls apart, and I think that also plays into a part in Fisk's ego, and
Mhm.
we got a clear front row seat to that in this episode. One with Charles, like, stepping to him, and even though Charles also an understanding that, yeah, maybe two dudes wasn't going to be enough to handle all this, but it's the constant reminder of you're just a cog in the machine. New York is just a small place. You're
Mhm.
not exempt from everything else that we want to do.
Yeah.
Um, so hop to it. And it's again showing us that Fisk wants more. He wants New York to be absolutely his. He wants to be king of New York without a doubt. But again, how much can his reach go? How far can his hand and his mindset and how he views the world, how far can he reach? And getting
Yeah.
into bed with people who have been at this game way longer than you is something his ego won't allow him to comprehend. He
Yeah.
will always think he's the smartest man in the room. And a lot of time he probably is, but just because you're smart doesn't mean you have the upper hand.
Yeah.
Um I think, with that and then with the distraction and also to show that the distraction of Vanessa, right?
Yeah.
And him getting punched by that guy, we open the boxing scene with he's not gonna touch me to getting touched. He's
Yeah.
like, I'm not gonna allow this, so you're gonna die. Like,
That's how it
and
is.
it's so fascinating too that people wonder how, Trump got into power and people are wondering how, like, to mirror how Fisk got into power. But I think the boxing ring is the crowd is a perfect example of that. You're going to cheer on a man you perceive as strong. And if he could
Mhm.
throw fists and make a man bleed, you're going to cheer him on. Because, yeah, he gets stuff done. Look at how strong he is. He's a real man. Da 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 da. That's that toxic masculinity that we prop up.
Yeah.
And it's way more insidious and way more out there than you think. Like, I've got nothing against boxing, but I also know that a lot of boxers have an ego.
Yeah.
A lot of boxers use, not a lot. Again, I don't want to generalize because I don't know a lot of we're not friends. I'm not friends with boxers, but I know men. Men use martial arts, use sports as a way to assert their dominance, to assert their perceived strength, to show that they're top dog, that they're number one, because it's illegal to do these kind of things out in the regular world for some people, not for all people. But that's kind of for Fist, right? He found strength in fighting. He found strength in boxing, like Matt did, right? Um, and he's a man who was doing a lot with his fists before he became mayor. So it's also like an unleashing of an animal who's been caged for so long. So all right, so I get to get my hands dirty again. I get to, show people why everyone was afraid of me. I get to live in that glory, people cheering me on, building my ego, and people will celebrate it. People will celebrate it. If you can just show some of society their idea of what an alpha male should be, yeah, they're gonna let you piss on their legs and lick it up and then prop you up to king status because that's what the society and patriarchy has built into our head. Yeah, it's very fascinating. It's like a social experiment watching that and what it all meant, and then to have I think BB and Sheila just go, y'all, that was crazy. And even some people in the audience go, oh, that was crazy. But only then to get really scared and nervous when Bullseye was killing people. It's like there's a contained violence that they're only observers of, right? That
Hmm.
they're not in danger of. But now all of a sudden, oh my God, not the blood, not the killing, not the gunshots, not the knives. No. It's very, a very interesting social experiment watching that scene happen. And I really got to give it up to the director and to the writers of this episode. That was really cool. And then to juxtapose that with what's happening with the diner with Bullseye, he's not killing innocents, right? He's just taking out task force, right? And though everyone was scared, everyone was complying, shit didn't start hitting, like, he wasn't killing, but task force was just shooting willy-nilly.
Yeah.
Could have killed anyone, but it doesn't matter to them, right? It's that thing of you can watch task force walk the streets, but they're not pointing their gun at me, right? Until you're in a situation where it's like, well, they're pointing their gun at anybody. I think watching what's going on in the apartment building with Matt and the prisoners and Karen and how they're all being treated and hidden away and everyone's just like trying to be real careful to someone like Swordsman who's like, bro, I gotta be ounce.
Hmm.
I'll back this financially, but I gotta be ounce.
Yeah.
This was a lot. But there's still people trying to prop up and help people do the right thing. Um, but how carefully even Matt, when he heard this dude out in the hallway, was like tell everyone to like stay down, stay like don't move, because he was ready to protect everyone to make sure that they were okay. Fisk doesn't. The task force and Fisk, they don't care about everyone else,
No.
right? So I think I really enjoyed I guess it would be the juxtaposition of that scene and this scene in all in close spaces. I think Swordsman telling Matt that he's no longer a hero, but a symbol of hope. It
All
really is
Might.
like, yeah, like, yeah, I'm here. Right. It makes me think about One Piece live action and talk and Luffy protecting Herlux, Jolly Roger, and his little speech about that and how 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 all these things can become symbols of resistance and hope to help propel us and push us forward and things that should be respected and revered. And how, like, Matt only started out trying to help Hell's Kitchen, but it goes further than that. And that's the, I don't want to say that's the plight of a hero, but that's kind of just what happens when you're a hero, right? You kind of start out seeing an injustice, wanting to help, and then all of a sudden the symbol that you wear makes reassures people, it relaxes people, it makes people want to push and help you, want to fight back against
Hmm.
oppression. I mean, that's you brought up All Might. So I love All Might so much why he says I smile every time because it eases people because I need them to know that I'm gonna keep them safe and I'm gonna get them out of here. Whereas Matt is like here and there, but he will do his best to keep innocent people safe, right?
Yeah.
you know and he will take a bullet for anyone, he'll take a punch to the face if it means making sure everyone gets out safely. And it's seeing those horns, seeing that mask, seeing the DD on someone's chest, on his chest, and people like, okay, I might actually get out of this. And you know and also just people knowing who's seen men and women like Fisk oppress people in these ways, in these innocuous and in some very obvious ways, are like, you know, we need to show people that there's other that we can push back against this. So
Yeah.
yeah, this was a really, really good this was a good episode. I want to maybe take away one really because the verdict still out of Vanessa is dead because like I said, I'm scrutinizing that. I'm side-eyeing
Hmm.
it. If she's in fact Fridge, we're gonna have a problem. Um, yeah. But even like Karen going to Kristen, like, you know, it's just gonna keep getting fucked up. Everything that we're doing, everything's just gonna keep getting worse, so we have to do what we can to get it better and to help the people who are trying to help us and, seek safety and refuge and, who have information for us that we could take down fast. It's like everyone's playing their part, and even though it's so stressful and a pain in the ass, that it really can also take two young people to pass on an SD card.
Hmm.
Two young people to pass on an SD card to get it to another young person who could put the news out there for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think there's a lot of real good storytelling happening here. Um, I also feel like with a lot of the shows that we're watching, they're trying to instill a baseline of hope in the audience, that I think a lot of people are either ignoring or don't see, or it's hard for them to grasp onto because the real world is so shit. Um, But my hope is always, like, when you're watching the stuff that just at least touch that hope. Touch what they're trying to tell you and carry that into your life and into the next day. Because even small sparks of hope can turn into wildfires. You just have to be willing to hear the message.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think so far the current run of these episodes for Daredevil, I putting it way above season one. I
Mm,
think
yeah,
the show is
I'll agree.
finally coming into its own groove because the writing I think overall has just been better. And the situations, the anxiety building up has been a lot better. I just think that they've taken what was happening in season one and they have shown to up the ante. Plus, everyone is more sure of themselves. Even though we'll question decisions like not Ayala, well Angela,
I mean,
uh,
it's her last
well,
name.
yeah,
Yeah.
true, it's her last name, yeah, like questioning like, all right, her just ready to shank somebody. Okay,
Girl is
she
ready to
showed,
go.
yeah, she was just ready
Honestly,
to
true,
go.
true New Yorker, true New Yorker,
Yeah,
just ready to go.
I'm just like, yo, like the little soldier. Okay, you know what? Don't say nothing about her no more. You got it, big
Yeah.
dog. You now big dog.
Big dog. You got it, big dog. You got
or
it.
big cat. Big cat for her. You got a big cat. So yeah, I thought, yeah, overall, we've been on a good like trajectory. I hope the last four episodes nail it. Like, cause it's one of those things. Like, if Vanessa does die, it's what they do with Vanessa character and the fallout from that. Cause if Vanessa does die, right, will this propel, say, like Heather to become Muse? Is Fish just going to be a regular crash out? Like that. Those are like the regulars. Like that. Like Fish just crashing out. Like that's, to me, would be like the weakest of them all. Like, cause obviously, oh, I just lost Vanessa. It's, yeah, I'm gonna go harder on Like, it's like we can't. I don't know how much more he would benefit from that. I don't see. I personally, I don't see much benefit because it's like he can't go harder on vigilante.
Well, the thing is, it's now
Vigilantism. Yeah,
public perception.
yeah.
Bullseye killed the mayor's wife, right?
And now
Bullseye,
it's what
however they can
Matt
say it,
hated. It
yeah,
would be a martyr.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yep, they've martyred the first lady, so to speak,
yeah.
and it's going to take people who already are like, fuck vigilantes,
Hmm.
fuck all this superhero bullshit, and it's just going to embolden them even more. Um,
Yeah,
the
because
way
they're already got a
it would
super hard
play out,
line.
right? The way it would play out is that this just um, gives more support, more backing from regular people, and even rich individuals who are just like, oh yeah, we're not fucking safe because again, she was safe up to
Yeah,
a point, right? I mean, she was safe up to a point, and that's what he kept trying to do, trying to push her away. And I'm sure he's also going to be like, if she just listened to me, like, right?
yeah.
But it really does embolden the whole anti-vigilante movement, and they killed a
Wait, because
public official's wife.
yeah,
Yeah.
the reason why I was like, I don't
I mean,
see
fuck
much.
her, but
No, yeah,
like,
like the reason why I was saying I don't see much of a difference is because they could accomplish the same thing now, even if she just
mm,
lives, because it will be like, look
right.
at what they done to my wife. No
Yeah.
matter, like, at the end of it, it'll be, look at what they done to my wife, no matter if she's dead or alive, but they've hurt her, and we need to go hard on vigilante. So that's why I'm like, they
Right.
can accomplish the same exact thing, even if she does live. Because Muse, like let's say Heather becomes Muse, she could still become Muse because
She's crashing out
Vanessa's,
too,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like all this can still be done with her alive. So it's like, what is the extra push that can be accomplished if we kill Vanessa right now? That can't be accomplished if she's just hurt, sidelined, unconscious, right?
Right. It's
Which
all
accomplished the same. That's what I'm saying. Like it's a
yeah.
for them to kill her, they would have to do something extraordinary, especially with the Watcher. If like
Mm,
what if Marvel confirms that that's the Watcher, then all right, this is a moment that that's gonna stand the test of times, right? We can't
mhm.
come back from this. So it's like, all right, what about that moment is going to like change the trajectory of, let's say, the MCU in general?
Yeah,
Um,
the only thing would be what the MCU does, and the MCU's quite has like a laundry list
yeah,
of female characters' fridge to propel men's
yeah.
stories. Comic books has
That's what the
a
Watcher's
long
watching
laundry list.
on.
Right. No, yeah, but it is very like yeah, I agree with you. You
Yeah.
you don't have to kill Vanessa, you just have to take her off the table. But if you
Mhm.
kill her, you're 100% fridging her,
Yeah.
and it's just like what we did with uh Natasha Romanoff, what we did with Gamora.
Mhm.
Though we brought Gamora back, like it is very like
Yeah.
the MCU is not new to this, they are true to this. So
Yeah. Because
yeah.
if they kill Vanessa, something massive has to happen that justifies her, to the point where people can't question, well, you could have just had her unconscious to accomplish the same goal writing wise. That's why I'm like, in my brain, I'm like, all right, you kill Vanessa, or what can be done from her death that can't be done from her being unconscious for 4 episodes into season 3. And
Mhm.
right now, you know, I don't I don't have the answers, and I'm pretty sure nobody else does. But I think
Yeah.
we all comes to the same conclusion that it would have to be massive, like to justify, because she's a villain at the end of the day. So she's gonna get her comeuppance, and villains gonna,
Right.
these villains, like, because it's like the same thing. If Fist were to die, that creates a whole new power vacuum and whatnot. Like
Mhm.
Fist's death would be very different from Vanessa's death, right? Because Fist's
Mhm.
death will cause a power vacuum, and the
Mhm.
person who Valentina was relying on for these arms is gone. Who becomes the next mayor? Who steps into this like way? Who kills Fist? Right?
See,
Like, yeah,
I think no matter who they have as the next mayor, though, I've seen
yeah,
people, I think some of us know where that might be going. Um, I think if Vanessa, like if Fisk had died and Vanessa
mm-hmm,
lived, I feel like DeFontaine would still
mm-hmm.
be it like work with Vanessa because Vanessa still got the connect.
Yeah,
Vanessa still has a lot of pull in New York, and if she I don't know if Vanessa was born in New York, but, like, from wherever she's from, with her like I said, she's an upstanding, rich society person,
yeah,
so she's still a viable asset if need be. It's like, as Charles saw, she is well aware of what Fisk does, so, the majority of Fisk's dealings, Vanessa knows too, and if Buck doesn't die, then there
yeah,
you go. Like, you
yeah.
have Fisk essentially just not Fist, like, just 2 people who can be Fist, just not in the
About
punchy
to get
killy
a queen pin.
right, yes, yes, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, so that's why I was like, yeah, if Fist dies, that creates a whole new conundrum as opposed right now to where Vanessa has been positioned in the story. If Vanessa dies, she doesn't create a power vacuum. She does
Mhm,
change a lot of the options that's on the table.
mhm,
But now it's your like, if you're going death for death, like it's the person, yeah, it's a whole
mhm.
the whole gravity shifts. So
Yep, yep,
especially with a season 3 plan. That's why I'm
mhm,
thinking Vanessa. Most like I would not have Vanessa die because I can't justify at this point in time. She's not to the gravity of Fist, where if she dies, it would change the entire gravity of, say, New York City. Right now, it would change Fist's gravity more so than anything, and then the
yeah,
other
it's
after
again,
effects would be,
it
yeah,
would be killing a woman to propel a man's
yeah,
story. That would be
yeah.
it. That would be it.
That
And
that's
like I
legitimately
yeah,
it's only
that's it.
Fisk benefits character wise from this because it's not like this is gonna propel Matt to kill somebody like that.
Right. He's not gonna
Yeah.
he's not gonna kill Bullseye for this.
He's not
He's
gonna
not.
kill
He
Bullseye.
saved that man. He's
Yeah,
not gonna kill him. So
he's not
I
gonna.
mean,
Yeah.
he kind of also set in motion, like he does have a part to play with Dex going after Vanessa as well, because like
Hmm.
I'm like that rhetoric of do one good thing to balance the scales, and that's what he's trying
Yeah.
to do in his warp brain.
Is
Like,
yeah.
damn, I didn't, I just,
I killed
he's
Foggy. Let me
making
take out
excuses.
Fisk. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm making excuses for the contract I signed because of the position I got myself in anyway, because I got myself into prison and it was drugging me up and I didn't want to be
Yeah.
drugged up anymore, so I had to get the fuck up out of there. So, she promised me all this stuff, didn't deliver, and it's more about him than it is about doing a good thing, in my
Yeah.
opinion. But yeah, Matt's not gonna kill him.
Nah.
Matt's not
But if yeah,
Matt tried to kill him because of Foggy, but
yeah,
like Matt's
it's not
not
because of
gonna kill
Vanessa,
him.
not because of Vanessa. Like
Not because
I
of
would
that,
call,
no.
this will get a negative 10 stars. If Daredevil all of a sudden just kills somebody over
Right,
Vanessa's death. If he didn't crash
right,
out and go crazy over Foggy, then like and then we're talking about if Karen dies, all bets are off for Matt at
right.
that point,
I
right?
agree.
Like
Yeah.
yeah, I would say all bets are off. But you know what? We'll leave it there. Next week will be episode 5. We'll see where they take it. Folks, let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And we'll catch you guys for the next show. I already know. Doses.